If you're afraid of what other people think of you, you're probably ready to expand. Welcome back to the Love Who You Are series. This is video 3, and I am Angie, your inner glow coach. I help high-achieving women stop shrinking and start expanding. And stay until the end because, like all of my videos, I have a powerful action item for you. If you've ever thought, what will they think of me? What if they think I'm full of myself? What if I lose my friends? What if they judge me? Then this is the video you didn't know you needed, because none of this is about confidence. It's about identity and being the kind of person that doesn't give a shit about external validation. We're not available for other people's approval to feel safe or worthy. We're not doing that anymore. Because you can't fully love and accept yourself when you're buying into other people's opinions of you and you're giving your power away to anything outside of you. In my GLOW method, the O stands for overcoming external validation. And this is a major pillar of the work that I do. And it's an entire process and it's highly individualized. But at a high level, what it means is when you stop asking, what will they think of me? And start asking, what do I think of me? Am I happy with my life? Am I happy with who I am? Am I living in integrity to my values? Am I being the best version of myself that I can be at any given time? Because when you're focused on you and your growth, that's when you love and accept yourself for who you are. And eventually you stop giving a shit about what other people think of you, because all you care about is what you think of you. And when you're so lit up with your own self-love, that is the only opinion that matters. So where does this addiction to external validation come from? When we were born, we're all born as these fully expressed, creative, fun balls of light. Because we're all born with this light inside of us. If you see little kids playing, they're running around, they're screaming, maybe their clothes are dirty, maybe their clothes don't even match, they do not give a F. They are having fun and they are being fully expressed as themselves. But as we go along life, society and family systems and school systems all impose these arbitrary rules of what we should or should not be. So we slowly start conforming to these things outside of us, because if we don't, especially in our child and teenage years, we lose or we risk rejection, especially if it's within a family system or, school systems through high school are very heavily like community based, because you have like your different friend groups and you want to belong to a group and there's like different hierarchies. So it's like this whole thing. So you're conditioned that being easy and being agreeable means being loved and being safe. And this is especially true, like if you grew up in a critical household or have demanding parents or caregivers, your emotional or even physical safety was highly dependent on conforming to these family systems. And in school, like, you're not taught to like think outside of the box. You're taught to like conform to these rules. Even like the learning system is like memorize this and take a test, which is not like the real world at all. So the problem is we carry these habits and behaviors and beliefs as children and teenagers into an adulthood. But the problem is, as fully autonomous adults, we don't necessarily have to conform to any of these standards, not even society standards, because we are adults and we can do whatever we want, kind of. There's obviously exceptions to that. I'm not saying do anything illegal, but I'm saying these behaviors that we formed as children and teenagers to fit in to our environment so that we didn't get rejected, they did serve us. They're actually very intelligent survival mechanisms. But as adults, they're not serving us anymore. So now as an adult, every time you want to like raise your standards or speak your truth, or you've outgrown friendships and you want to move on, and you are chasing after love and approval, or you want more for your life, your nervous systems freak out because it knows from experience that you might lose connection. And that's really cute that our nervous system has such a great memory. But again, those survival mechanisms that kept us safe, they're no longer serving us as functional adults. And if you're still living by the arbitrary rules of society or your family or school systems, you probably think to yourself things like, I shouldn't want more because it's greedy to want more. Or I shouldn't outshine other people because it will make them feel jealous or bad about themselves. Or I shouldn't make other people uncomfortable, so I'll shrink myself, or even worse, risk my own emotional safety for their comfort. Or maybe you think, I shouldn't be too ambitious, I shouldn't be too opinionated, I shouldn't be too sensitive, I shouldn't be too powerful. But if we stop and take a step back and really think about this, who wrote these rules of society or family systems or school systems? And more importantly, why are we still blindly following them? And this is why I keep calling them arbitrary rules, because somewhere along the line they were developed, but we somehow stopped questioning the reason why. And maybe they worked at some point, but I don't really think they're working now. And just because they're inherited doesn't make them right. And you may still be editing yourself and conforming to them to fit in. And over time, this self-edited version of you has become your identity, but that's not who you are. So now you're operating from limiting beliefs that aren't even yours. So these may sound like, if I'm fully myself, I'll lose love. But here is the truth. If you have to shrink who you really are as a person to keep someone, whether that's a family member, a romantic partner, or friend, you don't have love, you have conditional approval. And conditional approval is exhausting because you're always having to perform a role to stay in line with who they want you to be. The woman who feels free to be who she is unavailable for that level of self-betrayal. And it's not all rainbows and unicorns, because being fully expressed and expanding will cost you something, because it may cost you the friends that you've outgrown. It may cost you other dynamics that relied on you playing small. But here's the thing I can promise you. It will never cost you aligned connection and the people who are meant for you. It's only going to upgrade it. So this is your action item for today. I want you to either journal or thinking about, where are you editing who you really are to protect belonging? And be very specific, because it could be a friend group, it could be a romantic relationship, it could be a family dynamic, it could be a work dynamic, and it could be more than one of those things, or it could be something else I didn't even just mention. But truly ask yourself, if you trusted that aligned people would meet you at the level of who you really are, how would you show up differently? And I want you to really think about this, like be intentional about this step. And so that's the first step. Actually, that's the second step. One, just ask yourself, where are you editing yourself to belong? The second step is asking yourself, how would I show up differently if I was truly being me and not conforming to fit in? And for the third step, do the thing that you just identified. Even if you come up with a whole list of things, do the one thing that you're so scared about, what everyone thinks of you, and honestly see what happens. Because the truth is, you're so afraid of what other people think of you, but in most cases, the judgment or their opinion isn't even that bad. So just do the thing and notice how it feels in your body and what kind of responses you're getting. By the way, it doesn't matter what other people think, but you're doing this just to see that it's not as bad as you're thinking in your head. Because I remember a few months before I moved to Hawaii, I moved here in 2018, Gary Vee posted something on Instagram. It was along the same theme. It was like, do the thing that you're scared to do and you're afraid of everyone judging you, and see what really happens. And at the time, my family wasn't really supportive of me moving, and neither were some of my friends. And this was a few months before I moved. So I took a screenshot of this Instagram post, and a few months after I moved, I remember seeing that screenshot, and it wasn't that bad. Like, my family didn't like it, but they didn't disown me, or like some of my friends didn't like it, but they didn't stop talking to me. So like, we make some things in our head to be so bad, and we like fear rejection, and we catastrophize all these things that could happen. But a lot of the times it's not that bad. So the whole point of this exercise is overcoming external validation and proving yourself that, number one, that you're a badass and you can do hard things. And number two, most things aren't as bad in practice as we make them out to be in our heads. And actually taking action and doing the thing is proving both of these things to yourself. So do the thing that you're so scared about what everyone thinks, and see what happens, because I promise you, it's probably gonna work out better than you imagined. So this practice is so huge in learning how to love and accept yourself, because when you're acting in coherence with who you really are, that is the highest form of self-love. And in the final video of this series, I'm gonna show you what the identity upgrade actually looks like, and how to move from self-awareness into embodied expansion without burning everything in your life down. So stay with me, because loving who you are doesn't mean playing small. It means expanding and feeling safe in your body while expanding and becoming who you're really meant to be. So I will see you in video 4 of the Love Who You Are series.